Hello and welcome. In today's video I will be creating 3 slightly different Mother's Day cards, and I will be using some of these dies and this embossing folder. First I am making some cutouts using this die set, from which I will be creating beautiful orchid flowers. And now I want to show you 3 slightly different ways to color in the petals of the flowers. Before I color in the petals, I am embossing the petals using an embossing tool, and I am embossing the cutouts inside the die. To emboss the petals you can of course use your silicone mat, but I found that this method works best for me. Now I am going to color in the inside of my blossom, and I am using Memento Pear Tart and Memento Cottage Ivy, and I am applying the color using an ordinary sponge. To color the petals I am using Memento Grape Jelly, and again I am applying the color using an ordinary sponge. And to bring a little contrast I am coloring the lower part of the embossed panel using a white gel pen. And finally I am distressing the edges of the panel. After I have colored all the 3 parts of the flower, I can adhere the flower together, and for this I am using some wet adhesive, which I am applying using a fine tip bottle. For the next flower I have already embossed and cut out the 3 parts, and now I am applying some Memento Cantaloupe, and then I am using some Memento Rosebud. To distress the edges I am using Memento Rosebud as well as for the inside of the flower. To add a little more dimension to my flower I am using the backside of my mouse pad, and then I am pressing down the petals using the backside of a brush in a circular motion, and from the right side I am pressing down the center of the petals. And again using some wet adhesive I am adhering the flower together. For the next flower I am using an ordinary marker, and I have positioned the petal inside the die, and I am coloring the petal through the die. And after I have colored the petal I am embossing it just the way I showed you before, and this is how the flower looks like. Before I color in the flower stalk I have already embossed it, and I am starting to color it in by using Memento Cottage Ivy. Then I am using some Pear Tart to color the buds, and on the top of the buds I am using some Memento Cantaloupe. To get the green tone I am looking for, I am going over the stamp using an ordinary marker in a lighter green tone. So, and now let's make the cards. For my first card I am applying some Memento Grape Jelly directly with my ink pad to the card base. Off camera I have trimmed down my panel from an off-white cardstock, slightly smaller than my card, and then I am using this embossing folder to emboss the panel. Using some double-sided tape I am adhering the panel to the card base. Using this letter die set I have cut out the word Mom using a brown chipboard. And from a small letter die set I have cut out the word Love from the same brown chipboard. Next I am cutting out the largest die from this die set using some silver mirror cardstock. And I am ready to bring my card together. First I am adhering the flower branch to the doily heart frame using some wet adhesive. Using some wet adhesive I am adhering the word Mom to the lower part of the card, and the word Love I am adhering to the upper part of the card. After I have trimmed down the branch off camera I am adhering now the frame with the branch to the card using some wet adhesive. And finally I am bringing in 2 flowers, and ready is my first card for today. For my next card I am cutting out the word "with love" from this die set from some silver cardstock, and then I am trimming off the word "love." From some silver cardstock I have cut out the word "mom" using the same letter set I have used before. Then I have trimmed down a panel from some off-white cardstock, slightly smaller than a card base, and using this embossing folder I have embossed the panel. With some Memento Rosebud I have colored the edge of my card base, and now I can bring my card together. Using some double-sided tape I am adhering the panel to the card base. With some wet adhesive I am adhering the word "mom" to the left down corner of the panel, and then I am adhering the branch of the orchid to the center of the card. On top of the branch I am adhering 3 flowers. And finally I am adhering the word "love" to the right up corner of the card. And ready is my second card for today. For my last card I am coloring in my card base using a purple metallic gel pen, and I am applying the gel pen directly to the card base, and after I have applied a sufficient amount of color I am smearing the color with my fingers. Next I am using this star template and I am applying some acrylic paint using an ordinary sponge, and the color I am using is a dark purple. From an index card I am cutting out a frame using the largest die from this rectangle stitch die set, and then I am embossing the frame using this embossing folder. Using some double-sided foam adhesive I am adhering the frame to the card base. From this letter set I am cutting out the word "mom", and from this die set I am cutting out the words "thank you". Now I can arrange my card. I am applying the word "mom" to the left down corner, and I am adhering the word "mom" using some wet glue, which I am applying using a fine tip bottle. The word "thank you" goes to the right top corner, and in the center of the card I am arranging an orchid flower. And this finishes my last card for today, and here are the 3 cards of today's video. I hope you had fun and enjoyed today's video. If so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.